but welcome. First of all, I'd like to give you a gentle reminder to please shut your cell phones or silence your cell phones so we don't have any interruptions. And welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here with your students tonight and encouraging them to be the best that they can be, because they are our future. I'm Carol Hack. I'm chairperson of West Bloomfield Youth Assistance. And Youth Assistance is a unique Oakland County organization started 61 years ago by a judge who was hoping to keep the young people in his community out of the courts. Our purpose is to strengthen youth and families and to prevent and reduce delinquency, neglect, and abuse through volunteer involvement. And that's where the community comes in, the volunteer involvement part. And we're here tonight to recognize our students who have gone above what is expected of them, and they can be nominated by anyone in the community, their parent, their counselor, a teacher, a principal, their clergy person. Anybody can nominate a student who's done exceptionally well in any part of their life, in their grades. Some kids flounder, and then all of a sudden they put in a special effort and they become all A students. That's wonderful. Some kids volunteer. I was coming in today, and a nice young man, I didn't even get his name. I was pulling something heavy out of my car, and he just came up to me and said, "Can I help you?" And I thought that was really nice, and didn't know him, he didn't know me, but he saw that there was an old lady that needed some help, and he decided to ask me, so I thought that was great. We've got a bunch of wonderful young people in our community. Youth Assistance also provides camp money for those who qualify, and we have a wonderful mentoring program, and there are some brochures out on the registration desk about mentoring. We also have a family education committee, so when you get an e-blast from the district regarding parent programming, please consider attending. Some of the programming is for you, the parent, so that you can be aware of what's going on out there. My children aren't young anymore. I would be so dumb. I mean, I think I was dumb when they were young. I tried my best, but we didn't have programs to teach us what to look for. I knew that I should be in their rooms. I knew that I should be in their drawers. Oh no, the drawers are in the dresser. I knew that, but there wasn't cell phones at the time, so I didn't have to check their cell phones. So I'm trying to tell my granddaughter that her father has the right to check her cell phone and her email. She doesn't agree with me, but that's just the way it is. But you can learn all those things. We have lots of things to teach you. So between our group and you, we can hopefully educate our children to be on the right path. I would also encourage you at times, if there's a program that you think your student might be interested in coming to see, to bring them along with you. Tonight, the West Bloomfield Civic Center TV is here. If you see all this equipment, they're taping our program tonight. So if you would like a copy or of the DVD for tonight, out on the registration desk, there was a form to fill out that you can fill out and mail in. And when the gals come in, they'll put them on the refreshment table. So all you have to do is fill it out, send in your check, and I believe they'll mail you the DVD. Also, once we get our program going, when we're done here, we have Bill, who's always around town taking everybody's picture there he is. He will take their picture at the end. So you'll have a picture of your child that you can pick up at the table over here, and then there's a backdrop. So if you want another picture with their nominator or with their family, you can do that also. And there's no charge for that, so don't worry about that. So right now, I would like to introduce Shelley Rouse Tag. It's German. It means Friday, by the way. She just told me that. I never knew that. She's a music teacher from Orchard Lake Middle School, and she's providing our entertainment for tonight. Take it away, Shelley.
Good evening. I am actually a private teacher in the area, and I live in the West Bloomfield School District. I teach flute. I used to be a band director in a former life, and I come in and help work with the bands and work with the students. My daughter also attends Roosevelt, is in the magnet program, and I have had the very distinct pleasure of being in the district since 2001 and working with the two flute players that are going to be playing this evening since they were in 6th grade and learning how to make a sound until where they are today. And we also have a clarinetist with us to play, Eleanor, and she is also a member of the OHMS band program. And these girls participated in the District 4 Band and Orchestra Solo and Ensemble Festival 2 weeks ago. And in the solos that you heard is prelude music, and in 2 of the 3 following pieces, they all received Division I ratings for their solo performances. So these girls have put in a tremendous amount of work. They volunteered to be here tonight to share their music with you, and I'm very proud of them. Eleanor is a student of Mrs. Sarah Ebert. And the first piece will be a flute duet, Cameron and Abby. And the next piece is a little lighter style, a little ragtime for you. Pretty amazing that just 3 years ago, they were learning to make sounds on these instruments. And now they're playing pieces that I at times give high school students and also play as a professional musician.
Thank you very much. That was wonderful. Let's give him one more round of applause. I did forget to mention one thing, that this is our 18th annual award night, and it's going to be aired tomorrow night at 7 o'clock on your cable TV channel 15. So, and I would like to thank Dr. Hill, our school superintendent, for all of his support for this event. He's been a big help supporting us and letting everybody in the school district know that they need to support us. So if you wouldn't mind saying a few words, please.
Thank you, Carol. I think the real stars of the show are behind me, but I'd like another round of applause for those fabulous musicians. They were great. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the 18th Youth Recognition Award Ceremony, sponsored by the West Bloomfield Youth Assistance Organization. It's my distinct honor and pleasure to welcome you this evening. As you already know, the West Bloomfield Youth Assistance is a community-based nonprofit volunteer organization dedicated to strengthening youth and families and to the prevention of delinquency, child abuse, and neglect. As I said just a moment ago, tonight's purpose is to recognize and honor area youth who have been nominated for their volunteer services or personal achievements. The youth selected for this honor have demonstrated an active commitment to making their community a better place to live or for improving themselves through personal achievement. This is our opportunity to recognize, encourage, and thank both the youth volunteers, their teachers, and parents. And to the youth being honored, and there are over 65 of them, I think that you should stand up now for a round of applause. Thank you. You may be seated. To our youth, I would like to personally thank you for your spirit of volunteerism and for your dedicated efforts to make our greater West Bloomfield community a better place to live, to learn, and to grow. Through your passionate work and your excitement, you set a good example for both youth and the adults in our community to follow. You can be proud of your individual and collective efforts, and please know that we are a stronger, more vibrant, and more compassionate community as a result of what you do. Again, congratulations to you, your parents, your teachers, family members, and your friends for all that you do to serve others in our community. We are better because of your caring and thoughtful acts. And I know I don't know all of you personally, but I have the opportunity to go into schools and see you in action, and believe me, they do outstanding work in the classroom on a day-to-day basis. This work is just an extension of that, and I think it's a credit to you to take that extra effort and to find time to give of yourself to others and to enrich our community, and I think we can all be proud of you, especially you can be proud of yourselves this evening. Thank you very much. And I know the next speaker is going to introduce guests, but I just want to also acknowledge some guests who are probably going to be repetitive. But we have Senator Mike Kowal back in the audience, and Chief Patton is everywhere. Everywhere I go, I see Chief Patton, and I think he deserves a great round of applause. And from a school district perspective, if there's any person that makes it to nearly everything, it's our board president, Mrs. Randy Sakwa. Randy. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hill, for your comments. And now I would like to turn the rest of the program over to Commissioner John Scott, who is one of our members on our Youth Assistance Board. John?
Thanks so much, Carol. Well, let's see. We started off the evening, and I was going to talk about this. Well, that's gone now. We don't need to do this one. Okay, moving on. Thanks so much. Dr. Hill and Carol got everything covered pretty well on there. Okay, we do have some introductions above and beyond what we had there with our electeds. Of course, Senator Kowal I've known real well, and Randy Sockwell we see all the time at West Bloomfield Optimist, along with Dr. Hill. And I don't mind seeing Chief Patton unless I got one, and when I got one of those blue lights behind me, I'm not a happy guy. So we do watch the speed limit in the township. We would like to thank the board members, though, for the Youth Assistance, the organization in here. Our chairman, of course, is Carol Hack, and our vice chair is Melanie Tolbert. We also have with us today, where'd you go? Down here, Dan Navarre. Dan is our treasurer, and he's also the head of the West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation. Sarah Gahani, where'd she hide? Back behind, she's back behind me. Sarah is our secretary and the chair for tonight. Jackie Beach is the mayor of the city of Orchard Lake, and Carol Finkenstein, a current board member. David Fleischer, I saw David, he's down here. He's a member of the Youth Assistance in West Bloomfield, along with Joe Green, a member of the Parks and Recs Commission. Cindy Hill, she's chair of our Education Committee, and she's also the wife of Dr. Hill. And Lieutenant Kurt Lawson's here from the West Bloomfield Police Department. Another member is Howard Rosenberg, West Bloomfield Township trustee. You can tell I live in Waterford when I slip like that. And then, of course, I'm here. And then our person that's did the most work, I don't see her, Stacy. Stacy was greeting you when you came in, Stacy Passini. She is the caseworker. Okay, we got through the elected, so we're moving right along with that. And I think we're entering into the main part of the program right now. I was hoping to see the court. I'll tell you a little bit about Youth Assistance. I think she talked about the fact that it was started back in, I believe it was 1953. It was started a long time ago by a probate judge. The program grew and it had been duplicated over and over, and it is now part of our probate court at Oakland County. As an Oakland County Commissioner, our job is to fund that program, so we'd work hard to do that and keep it going, and monies come out to the districts as best we can get. So without any further ado, I think we need to get into the recognition here that was already on and start talking about our honorees. And with that, we're going to start with our first presenter is Carla Jones. If Carla could please come on up, and she's going to present her students. Thank you.
It is always an honor and a privilege to recognize these students who go over and above what is expected of them, that give back to the community. I'd like to begin with Erica Jones. Erica Jones is a very active young lady. She balances musical theater, yearbook, and track, to name a few, and still manages to maintain a 4.0 grade point average. Erica has committed herself to helping students after school, at least 2 days a week with tutoring sessions. The students enjoy being assisted by their peers. They listen more intently. When students' grades improve, Erica cheers with the students, and they feel proud, and she also feels proud of their accomplishments. Great job, Erica. Oh, wait, baby. Okay. And then next I have Danielle McLean, who we affectionately call Denny. Danielle maintains a 3.7 grade point average. She's a web leader, and that's our program where everyone belongs, and she mentors sixth graders here at Orchard Lake Middle School to help them transition to middle school. She played basketball also this school year. Danielle has recruited a few of her classmates to help students who are struggling academically. Danielle meets with students 2 hours weekly to improve their schoolwork. Danielle did not hesitate to offer her services when asked by the principal. However, she took it upon herself a step further by recruiting her friends to also help. Thank you. Next, we have Sydney Morrow. Sydney Morrow is also an all-A student at Orchard Lake Middle School. When she found out that she could assist fellow students with their schoolwork, she was eager to sign up. She assists 1 to 2 times a week. She is noted to be a fabulous teacher by her mentees. Good job. And next we have Jordan Robinson. Jordan is a student. I'm the school social worker here at Orchard Lake Middle School, and Jordan is a student that just touches my heart because he does whatever he can to assist, and he does it well. Jordan is an exemplary student and leader who has taken the initiative to raise much-needed funds for this school, for Orchard Lake Middle School, for his community. And although Jordan will be a freshman next year, Jordan spent countless hours preparing a dodgeball tournament at Orchard Lake Middle School. Jordan sought approval from the principal and assistant principal and went on to print flyers, sell tickets, organize, and then even referee the tournament. Jordan raised over $400 for the school. What would we do without him? Thanks, Jordan. There was also a teacher here, Mr. Martinez, who recognized Jordan Robinson for some more of his exemplary service to the community. Mr. Martinez said that he teaches a summer school program here at Orchard Lake Middle School. While most students were on vacation or away at camp, Jordan volunteered over 40 hours of his summer vacation to work with Mr. Martinez and his students. He said he provided great leadership and mentoring to students who might have trouble transitioning to the middle school from elementary. Jordan did an amazing job connecting with his students, setting up fun activities, and creating his own mini lessons. Good job, Jordan. And I have a whole group of students, I guess I'm gonna, and then, okay. And lastly, we have a program here, we have a center program here at Orchard Lake Middle School for our cognitively impaired and autistic impaired students. We have a group of students that help out in that program. They assist the students with learning different activities, with playing, with being a part of the community. And OHM's Link is truly a leader in every sense of the word. OHM's Links are the best of the best. Without the OHM's Link, the cognitively impaired program and autistically impaired program would never be able to do the wonderful things that it does for their students with special needs. They want to thank Ms. Chastity Fouché, is a teacher of the cognitively impaired program, Kim Rose, the autistically impaired program, and Anisha Jordan, the cognitively impaired program. They couldn't be here tonight, but they really wanted to thank these exemplary Link students. And the students that are being honored for that tonight, if you could stand and come up, would be Jeremy Carter. If you're in OHM's Link, please stand. And Jeremy Carter. Next we have Kennedy Hairston. Lauren King, Ariana Little, Leah Morton, Ava Shaw, Anna Bay, Dakaya Green, Shelby Michaels, Nicole Rusa, Jamal Saab, Lindsay Swartz, Erica Sheldon, Priel Shaw, Olivia Boyer, Nicole Epstein, Denny McLean, Danielle, Nicole Shamami, and Marissa Stone. These are phenomenal students. We could not have our program without them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Carla. You know, I got going through my notes here, and I just didn't go to page 2. I do have another acknowledgement to give, and that would be to our hardworking secretary, Rachel Akizian. She makes everything work here. She's been over there kind of coordinating everything right now. I know I was given the certificates for everybody at the County Board of Commissioners, and naturally I was late getting them to her, and she made sure to call and say, where are my certificates? So we do appreciate that. And I should also say that how about a big hand for Rachel? And as you've seen our honorees come up, and they are receiving from, when they get to the end here, actually certificates that are from West Bloomfield Youth Assistance, the township, and West Bloomfield School District, along with certificates from Congressman Gary Peters, from the state of Michigan, from Senator Kowal, Representatives Clint Kesto, Mike McCready, the Oakland County Board of Commissioners, Marcia Gershenson, Chris Long, and myself, Oakland County Sheriff Mike Bouchard, and Oakland County Treasurer Andrew Meisner. So that's what these all are that you're going to be receiving. Now, next I'm looking for Louise Strail. She has a list for us.
My name's Louise Strahl. I'm with the Sixth Circuit Court Family Division, and I nominated Nolan Campbell today, who unfortunately could not stay, but I nominated him for his commitment to himself and his achievement for personal goals. Thank you.
Thank you, Louise. Next we have Cindy Skalski. Down that end. Hello, Cindy.
I'm Cindy Skalski, and I run a 4-H youth group, and I am here to nominate and recognize my dynamic duo, Leah and Lauren Gorelsic. I have only known Leah and Lauren for a very short time, but our 4-H group that we run is mainly a community service group and a dog training group. They joined us in November and jumped right into all our community service work. These two young ladies have gone above and beyond what I have asked them to do in our group. For example, some of our service projects were, we did a bottle return where they earned money to buy material so that we could make blankets for the seniors. They had to organize making sure they raised the money, got the material, and then we all got together and made blankets for the seniors. We also have done visits to assisted living facilities. We've done work at Grace Centers of Hope where we've cooked and served the residents there who are all recovering. And we've done a variety of other things. And I really think that these two young ladies, and that's why I call them the dynamic duo, is because they stepped right up and they took part in every aspect of our club. They both also train their own dogs, and we do service with our dogs to different facilities also. So they do that. I'm very proud of both the girls.
Thank you, Cindy. Next we have Marion Sodich. How about a big hand for Marion?
I would like to have Sydney Sampson and Mark Tekelinsky come up to the front. Now, Sydney and Mark are both seniors at West Bloomfield High School, and they are co-presidents of the West Bloomfield Interact Club, which is a division of the Rotary Club in West Bloomfield. This club is sponsored by the Rotary Club, and there are over 250,000 members worldwide. They met 2 times a month on Sundays between 12:30 and 1:30 because they had so many other activities that they were involved in that this is the only time that they could get busy and do extra things for other people. They made and delivered 150 flyers to their neighbors requesting food. The following week, they picked up all the donations and delivered this food to the Lighthouse in Pontiac, and it was gratefully received. They said that the food bank really needed all the food they could get. They shoveled walkways and driveways to help their neighbors without paying. They didn't have to pay anything. The neighbors didn't have to. They're good. They visited patients at the Heartland Rehabilitation Center in West Bloomfield with handmade cards that they made for them on Valentine's Day and also on Halloween. And in regards to our military men and women serving overseas, they made cards thanking them for volunteering to serve our country and to keep all of us safe. We are extremely proud of their commitment to help others and to serve others. Good luck to both of you. Very good. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, Marion. Now we need Jennifer McQuillan. Oh, I've seen Jennifer. Jennifer's gotten up early a couple times to show up at the Kego Harbor Optimist, so thank you for coming.
Thank you for remembering. I need Sydney and Mario to come up. I've nominated kids for this in the past, but this is probably, I'm going to have a hard time with this one. This one's really personal for me. It applies to our school, but it also applies to my family. And if you don't mind, I'm going to read straight from this letter because I'm not sure otherwise I'm going to get through it. I have the pleasure of teaching Honors American Literature to both Sydney and Mario. At the beginning of September this year, on the 4th day of school, my 7th grade daughter had an apple thrown at her at lunch and was subsequently taunted by a group of her peers. It was a case of bullying that devastated my daughter and set a terrible tone for our family at the beginning of the year. As one of our initiatives in the district is to prevent bullying, I decided to share the incident with my students to remind them just how hurtful these kinds of actions can be. Sydney and Mario were horrified by the incident and made a pact, unknowns to me, that they would somehow fight this kind of behavior through their own choices and actions. They knew they could not go to my daughter's school and fix the climate there. Instead, they chose to start at West Bloomfield High School during their lunch hour. Each day, Sydney and Mario split up and sat next to students who were sitting alone, providing company and conversation to anyone who seemed in need of friendship. After a few months of this, they came to me just before Christmas and told me that they were doing this for the following reasons. They wanted to honor my daughter's pain and give her some hope. They did not want anyone in our school to feel alone, rejected, or hurt. And most importantly, they wanted to improve the culture of our school after attending Challenge Day by being the change they wanted to see. In my 15 years of teaching, I don't know that I have ever seen such upstanding, selfless, and compassionate students. I cannot tell you what it meant to me and my family personally, nor can I possibly articulate how very proud I am to have the privilege of teaching such wonderful young people in my class. We talk a lot in literature about how to fight the evils we see in our world, but Sydney and Mario didn't just talk about it, they acted on it. I can't imagine two students more deserving of the West Bloomfield Youth Assistance Youth Recognition Award.
Wow, that was awesome. Thanks so much, Jennifer. Now, Nancy. Nancy's always at breakfast with us with the Kego Harbor Optimist. Yeah. Okay, Nancy, I hope we have are we going to get the dry the tears up and make it?
I'm going to start then with, well, I'll tell
Go
you.
do it.
My name is Nancy Gelsey. I'm one of the counselors at Abbott Middle School. And there were two students at Abbott who had been nominated. And there was one student at the high school nominated by our physical education teacher and JV wrestling coach, Keith Garrison. Neither of the other two people could be here, so they've asked me to speak. So after that, I'm now going to be Keith Garrison. And those who know Keith Garrison know that he's a little taller than me and a little broader in the shoulders, and he wrote something. And I promised him that I would read it word for word. So Bryce, if you would come up, and you will all excuse me for being Keith Garrison. You will understand after the first line why I say this. Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, I cannot be here tonight because we're celebrating my wife's 21st birthday again. Now you know. I am honored to have the opportunity to nominate Bryce Klein for this prestigious award. I've known Bryce since he was in 6th grade and has always been impressed by his dedication, effort, and attitude. The past 2 years, he has gone above and beyond by volunteering countless hours to help the Abbott Middle School wrestling team. He would show up, help set up, work with all the kids, work all the meets, which last forever, and was a good mentor for the new guys. He would demonstrate and model the correct behavior and work ethic that you need with your team. He is always trying to get better and works to get others to understand the importance of effort. Bryce is a work in progress for leadership, and I cannot wait to see what is next for him. I believe if he continues to grow, he could lead the football and wrestling team for the next 2 years. I have seen Bryce be the first one to volunteer for anything at the high school. If you need someone to help you, just ask Bryce. He picks up, cleans up, carries in stuff from the concession stands. Bryce is the first one there and the last one to leave. That shows great integrity and character. Bryce is a big part of the West Bloomfield solution. Congratulations to Bryce, and again, I apologize. And I can apologize for not being with you all tonight, Coach Garrison. Okay. Now I am Christy Hopper, who is maybe my height, but much less in the shoulders than I am. Chad, I think is going to need a little help coming up, but Chad, if you could come on up. I'll speak really quickly, I promise, okay? Chad heard about that bullying was going on across our nation, and when a group of teachers from Abbott Middle School ran a marathon to raise money for the Defeat the Label, Chad was interested. This organization helped raise awareness for bullying, and Chad wanted to help in the effort. He's created an anti-bullying website that is currently working on to combat this problem. Daily, Chad adds information to encourage students to take a stand to end bullying. It is a work of progress, and he hopes to launch it and get some funding by the end of the summer. Congratulations, Chad, and we are so proud of you. Is there somebody who can hold this for him? Thank you so much. And now I'm going to play Nancy Gelsey. Devin? This is Devin Martin. And Devin did something very special at Abbott Middle School this year. Throughout the entire month of February, as part of Black History Month, Devin chose to educate our entire school. He did so by every afternoon profiling an African American leader on our afternoon announcements. He gave our students and staff great insight of who the person was and the impact that he or she made to the United States or to the world. There were also posters randomly placed in various parts of our building with pictures and short descriptions highlighting the many achievements that these men and women made. All this hard work was of Devin's own choice, and we couldn't be happier that he made such a good one. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thanks, Nancy. Okay, next is Liz Costello. Liz has got some presentations to make.
I have a group of 5, but only 4 could make it today. So if I could have Shelby and Allison and Lexi and Lydia come stand up here. work at Gretschko, and as you know, it's preschool and kindergarten and first grade, and we started a recycling program this year. The kids were very excited, but the recycling bins are about as big as the kids at Gretschko. So I needed some assistance from some middle school children, or not children, young adults. And twice a week, these kids went around and they emptied all the recycling bins. They had to put them into plastic bags, and then they had to take it all outside. And as you know, this winter was extraordinarily long, and sometimes there was a problem with the door. They may have been locked out. So they endured a lot with this recycling program. But they always did it with a smile on their face. They were always positive, and the kindergartners and the first graders and the preschoolers loved it every time they came in to help them out. So on behalf of our recycling team at Gretschko, we wanted to thank you for your help this year.
Thanks, Liz. Good job. Sally Unrath? Sally's coming up.
First of all, I'd just like to say a few things about youth assistance. On behalf of the West Bloomfield Community Education Department, I would like to thank them for their support for the last, I believe, 18 years of our summer camp program. Youth Assistance offers scholarships to needy families so their children can experience camp firsthand. Tonight I'm here to honor some of our volunteers for camps. So I need Aloysius, Natalie, David, and Adelaide. Stand this side. Go on that, because I'm talking about Roosevelt. Go on the other side, so it's staying close. Okay. Aloysius, Natalie, and David volunteered at Roosevelt Camp. Roosevelt Camp is a 6-week camp for Roosevelt students and Kego Harbor residents. Now, these students gave up over 180 hours that they volunteered through the summer. They were at camp from 9 to 3 for 6 weeks, Monday through Friday. Their duties consisted of assisting the teachers with the daily schedules, supervising small group games or other activities, and giving and lending an extra hand and another pair of eyes on the daily trips to Willow Beach. Now that might sound glamorous to some of you, but these students also got the dirty jobs. They had to clean up after lunch, help the teachers find Band-Aids, find Kleenex, you name it, they were right there to do it. And the nice thing about most of this is, I believe all 3 of you did attend Roosevelt Camp also when you were younger, correct? So what happens, the transition has been, the kids go to Roosevelt Camp from kindergarten to 6th grade. Once they get to the high school, they can volunteer. And many of the counselors that we have at Roosevelt Camp now, in a paid position as a counselor teacher, were also volunteers. So hopefully, that's where these 3 will be headed as well. Adelaide volunteered at our day camps at West Bloomfield High School. There are 3 main day camps for ages preschool through 8th grade. Adelaide was a big part of our Summer Sun and Fun, which is our camp for 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. She jumped in head first, literally. She was on the floor with the kids, and the 3 and 4-year-olds need a little more attention. They need one-on-one. They need to be supervised constantly. So she was there on the floor playing with them, taking them to the bathroom, getting them lunch, comforting them. There was not a day that went by that she did not have somebody sitting on her lap crying that she was trying to console. Adelaide did all 10 weeks of camp, which means she volunteered 300 hours during the summer when most of her friends were going to the beach, going to the mall. Adelaide was at the high school with our campers. All of these students donated and dedicated a lot of their time for the summer when a lot of their friends were out having fun. So I give them a lot of credit because I'm not sure there are many high school students that would be ready, willing, and able to volunteer.
righty, good job. Okay, next from Chico we have Blaine McDowell. Blaine's coming up. Chico.
My name is Blaine McDowell, and I'm a third grade teacher at Chico Elementary. And this is one of my students, Adrian Epps, and I'm really excited to nominate him for this award. And as soon as the Youth Assistance application came across my desk, I knew right away that he was the student to be recognized for this award, because we had just written our personal essays, and his thesis statement was that all people should be doing community service. And in third grade, they use personal examples to support their thinking. And he went on to write about how he volunteers with his grandma every month, and at his church, they organize supplies and donations, and then they pack it all up and take it down to Detroit, and there with a smile on his face and you know, a willing heart, he distributes all the donations. And in addition to that, he's an excellent student. He's a superb athlete. And tonight, Adrian, what I want you to, I want you to know, besides being so proud of you, I just want you to remember tonight and thank your parents and your grandma for instilling in you excellence in all areas of your life. And I already knew that he was a great student. I already know he was a great athlete. But when he told in his writing about what he does with his grandma, and he has a lot of brothers and sisters, so mom and dad are at home supporting his community service by taking care of little kids at home, but just still instilling that in all of their children. I just, both Adrian and his whole family are just such an inspiration as to what families can be and should be. So Adrian, congratulations, and I'm very proud of you.
Okay, next up is Natasha Vassallo. Thank you, Natasha.
Good evening. Hi, my name is Natasha Vassallo, and I'm a parent in the district, and also a family. Okay, and also a family friend of the next very special nominee. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Nikhil Sundaram as a recipient of the West Bloomfield Youth Recognition Award. I have known Nikhil since he was in the third grade. He's always been very curious, always asked a lot of great questions, always had a great sense of humor, and you just knew that he was really a bright kid. Looking back at the manner in which he played with my son, they were very good friends, and they still are, he was always very comforting to him and really concerned about others. I can still hear him say, "It's your turn, it's your turn." And you probably don't remember that, but you did. And he was kind enough to point that out, so he knew it was his turn. So he's very kind. Now, fast forward 8 years later, Nikhil is now a junior, or what we call a rising senior, and has already clocked 170 hours of volunteer time helping to care for sick patients at various hospitals, including Doctors Hospitals, as well as Beaumont Hospital. He's also volunteered his time helping to care for them at different volunteer or health fairs. Nikhil volunteered to do one of the things that he does best, and I think that's to care for people. Nikhil helps to comfort patients when he's at the hospital. He responds to calls for help, serves refreshments. He does other types of administrative things such as filing, copying. He also escorts patients from floor to floor. And the other thing he's getting from it, he's also learning from doctors on how to solve very important problems. And I'm certain that when appropriate, he comforts the patients as well with a bit of humor, but only when only when appropriate. But that's not all. Nikhil has also volunteered over at the West Bloomfield Library. He's volunteered an additional 30 hours there, doing some of the same types of things, filing, putting away books. And we thank him for that as well. The remarkable thing is that Nikhil has done all of these things in a very short period of time, somewhere between 2013. And it's very important to note that all of this comes with a price for our young adults. Nikhil gives up many, many, many weekends, holidays, playtime, all of this just to fit all of this into his schedule. And overall, Nikhil has done 200 hours of volunteer work, maintained a vigorous academic schedule of AP classes. I won't embarrass you, but I think it's 4 or 5 tests coming up. And all of this, and he still maintains straight A's. So that's quite unbelievable. So in closing, I'd like to say that it's just great to see that even while carrying such a demanding school load, that Nikhil makes time to volunteer for the good of his community. And I am so glad to be able to do this and to speak on his behalf. So I just want to say thank you, Nikhil, for your dedication, for your perseverance, and also for being a great role model. Should I get a hug?
Yes. Oh. I thought Rachel had some words of wisdom for me, but I'm safe. Okay, our next one up is Jill Rosenthal here? There you are. Hi, Jill. It says you're from OEC, but I don't know what that means.
I will tell you.
Thank you.
No problem. Hi, this is Daisha Banks, and she is a student at OEC, which I will tell you stands for Oakland Early College. Oakland Early College is the West Bloomfield High School's district's school that is a hybrid, where our students take high school and college classes at the same time. So Daisha takes classes at OCC, Oakland Community College, as well as high school classes. So that's a lot of classes. And I am her high school Spanish teacher. Daisha's being recognized tonight for her volunteer work at Oakwood Hospital, her church's soup kitchen, Michigan State University's film camp, and tutoring math. Daisha has been very busy the past few summers. She has volunteered working 8-hour shifts as a cashier in Oakwood Hospital's valet department, tutored math, served food to those less fortunate, and helped train beginner campers on film equipment and software at MSU's film camp. She also aids them in writing movies, which is right up her alley. This summer, Daisha plans on continuing to serve the community in all of these areas. And she hopes to one day work in the film industry, either writing, acting, directing, or doing all 3.
It's not a self. Oh. Guys are real acrobatic over at that place, I'll tell you, man. Took the leap, I guess. Okay, I'm looking for Kathy McCotter. Kathy's from West Bloomfield High School.
Good evening. Today it's my pleasure to nominate Marissa Ramsey. Yay! She's a senior at West Bloomfield High School. Hi. We were very fortunate to find Marissa, and actually she found us. I'm a teacher for students with autism at Doherty Elementary, and we have a 6-week summer program. We continue, it's an extended school year. Our students go 6 weeks longer. And so we're in the summer working where many people are not around to help out. And Marissa sought out the opportunity. She contacted our special ed director and said she wanted to volunteer or help out with students if there were any available. And I got the information and jumped on it right away, and I'm so glad I did. She came and spent her summer with us every day, showing up early, trying to find out what she could do to help our students. And the students have challenging needs, and there are very few adults that might want to come into that opportunity. And she came in with maturity beyond her years. So she was instrumental to our team. What was wonderful too, beyond that, after our summer ended, it felt like a sadness that she had such a connection to our students. And what was wonderful is I got an email during the summer. I was copied on an email, which is awesome. So she tried to change her senior schedule so that this year she changed her senior schedule so that she can continue working with us throughout her senior year, which was really wonderful because she could have just gone home or done something else. So she continued to work with us. And so she was invaluable. We will miss her terribly, and we thank you very much for seeking us out. We don't know what we would have done without you, so thank you.
And we have a slight substitution. I'm going to ask Natasha to come back up. Natasha Vasala. She's going to make a presentation to a young lady here that she knows real well, too, so she volunteered to fill in. Thank you.
Forgive me because I didn't bring my glasses, but I'm going to fill in because I know Sahana from the Magnet program. She was in the Magnet program with my daughter, and she's an amazing girl. So I'm going to read this I'm going to try to read this. Okay. Sahana is an involved community member and recognizes opportunity to volunteer herself to a myriad of community services and events. Some of her volunteer activities this past year: Philippines typhoon victims. Sahana reached out to her friends, family, and acquaintances to collect gently used books and school supplies. Her goal was to send it to the children of the typhoon victims in the Philippines. Her uncle, who was going there on a business trip, gladly took 2 suitcases of supplies and books that she collected to the children in the shelters. Also, at SVBF Temple, Farmington Hills. The entrance to the SVBF Temple does not have a clear and visible signboard, which used to result in people missing the turn into the temple. Sahana recognized this and made 4 signboards for the temple. These are now placed at the entrance to the temple on special occasions so people can easily spot the sign on Halstead Road to turn in. She also helped to coordinate the cultural dance event on January 25th, 2014. She helped with setup, was an MC, and helped with registrations. Sunrise Senior Living, West Bloomfield, 2013. Sahana put together a holiday program with 2 friends and her younger brother, where the 4 of them presented a 45-minute musical program to the seniors. Wow, Sahana. Their program included the Western violin, Indian violin, the piano, and holiday songs. This was very well received by the seniors, and they loved and enjoyed the music. They presented 2 times to 2 sets of seniors. Sahana loves to volunteer at Sunrise Senior Living and has signed up to be a regular volunteer. And then there's one last one, and she's been a very busy girl at Gleaners Food Bank in Detroit. As part of the International Club at School, Sahana volunteered at the Gleaners Food Bank in February 2014. She also participated in a Family and Friends Volunteering Day at Gleaners in the fall. This was nominated by Asha Subramanian. That's good. Thank you, Sahana. She's great. Thank you.
Thanks so much for filling in, Natasha. It was really great. Okay, Carol Arola, International Academy. Okay, I missed that one. How about Sudishna Danu? There, you're sitting right down there. West Bloomfield High School.
Good evening. My name is Sudeshna Danu, and I have known Shreya for quite some time now. You know, she's an exceptionally young lady. She's volunteered in so many things, in the Red Cross, soup kitchen. But the most important thing that I felt that truly touched me was her, the fundraising that she did. It was a documentary film on girl raising, the importance of education in underprivileged countries, you know, how important it is for girls to have education. I thought that was really good, and that's why I nominated her. Good job, Sarah. Good luck.
Moving right through the list here, Catherine Thorkelson. Catherine Thorkelson from Gretschko. I hammer the names. Sorry.
No problem. Joey, come on up.
All right.
Hi, I'm Kathy Thorlickson, and I work at Gretschko Elementary, and I've had the pleasure of knowing Joey for several years. But this year, Joey became a true hero in my eyes. On the morning, I'll tell his story. On the morning of January 22nd, Joey was home with his dad getting ready for school. Suddenly, his father became incredibly ill and collapsed on the floor. He was unable to get up or even communicate his needs to Joey. So, being the only other person in the home, Joey came upon his father in this critical situation that he was not sure what to do. And with Dad not being able to respond or tell Joey what to do, in Joey's confusion, he was very confused. So he had to calm himself down. I'm sure he was like, blah, and formulate a plan of action. So at the very young age of 7, Joey decided to call 911 to get medical help for his father. He explained the situation clearly to the operator and stayed on the phone for 15 minutes, explaining and waiting for help to arrive. And then, letting that help in, he had to lead them to his father. It was discovered that Joey's father had a serious blood infection and would have died if it were not for Joey making a responsible decision and getting the help that he did as soon as possible. So I, along with all of Gretschko, are extremely proud of Joey and his act of heroism, and we are honored to recognize Joey Waskell, a true hero, for this award.
Wow, what an incredible story. That was really great, thanks. Debbie Thomas, Chico. Don't, Debbie, you can't sit down now. You got to come up here and do some work. Okay, Rachel, we need a sheet. Oops. Oh, here it comes. You know, we rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed. If you believe that. Oh.
This is Carol.
I got Nitya Shankar. Okay. Well, anyway, I'll move on. The one, I love this. It's from the International Academy. Carol couldn't be here, but I'm going to try this. Nitya Shankar? Did I get it close? Nitya. Okay. Now I get to try to read. Okay, Nitya is a junior at the International Academy, Oakham campus in Bloomfield, and is an exceptional student who volunteered her time and deserves this special recognition. She and a group of 11 International Academy students and 2 advisors traveled to a remote village in Nepal to help build a school with Build On. The journey itself took 66 hours by plane and bus. Build On is one of the largest clubs in our school, and their mission is to break the cycle of poverty illiteracy, and low expectations through service and education. Nitya, along with other students from Build On, helped raise the $30,000 construction cost to build the school. Her compassion, dedication, and flexibility made her a valuable member of the Trek team. We helped build the school alongside the villagers with the tools available in the village, digging the foundation with shovels and pitchforks, crushing rocks with mallets to make sufficient gravel for making cement, which could be used for the concrete blocks in the school walls. The school will be completed by the people in the village. They stayed with host families in their tidy mud huts and slept on straw beds. There was no electricity, no running water, another component to adjust to. She also adjusted well to the cultural change and enjoyed helping the children of the village to learn English and also playing with them, teaching them new games. They experienced a complete cultural change from their comfort zone here in the United States. The people of the village in Koti, Nepal had never seen an American, let alone have a team of students come to the village all the way from the United States to build an elementary school for their children. The trip took 2 weeks, so she missed a full week of classes as well as her midwinter break. She completed all assignments and tests on her own and never complained. Her sense of altruism and positive attitude reassures our community that the future is in good hands with young people like Nitya. And I'd like to say, how did you live without your iPhone? Oh, okay. Congratulations. Okay, I got Mick. Okay, I guess we got Debbie's. Thomas isn't here. Debbie's here? You're here. I have your form. Would you come up and read this? You saw how bad I can read, so come on. Yes.
All right, very good. Good evening. I'm Debbie Thomas, and I have a wonderful, fabulous student that I'd like to introduce you to, and that is Mick Gordonier. And Mick and I just came from a concert over at the high school, so that's why we're a little frazzled, coming here a little late. But I want to recognize Mick because he not only is a very responsible citizen in the school, and he's one of my safety captains at this time, but he has volunteered every week for tea at, it's called the Fleshman's Residence, and it's the home for the aged. But he's learned to care for these people at tea time every Thursday afternoon at 3 o'clock. And he is so dedicated to be there, and they love him. And I think that he is an example of an exemplary citizen in our community. So good job.
Thanks so much. Okay, Nicole Pilkins. I saw her. Oh, we got two. All right, let's have a hand. Oh, Janice is with her. I'm sorry, I got Janice and Nicole. We got a tag team here. There you go.
Are you coming in here? Am I doing it? No, you're doing it all. Okay. Hello, everyone. We are here today to honor some LINK students who are with us at the high school. Janice and I run the LINK program at West Bloomfield High School, and out of a program of 70 students plus per semester, we chose 7 students who really take the program and take it outside of the classroom that they're in and bring it out into the community. And these students are exemplary students, not only in our classrooms, but also in other classrooms and ways. So can we have Ross Barrow, Nick Basil, Chris Watkins, who can't be with us tonight, Nikki Fink cannot be with us tonight, Emily Hubbard, Hope Jefferson, Ijama Nupu, Jacob Rashti, I think we can do better than that. Give them a big round of applause. Okay, we'd like to take a little time to tell you a little bit about each one of these students and what makes them so special. So first, here we have Ross. Ross came to us through a schedule change. So he did not choose to be with us. However, his contribution to Link is really what it was about. He came in nervous and scared, and he left making a ton of new friends. And he's continued with Link over the past 2 years. I've had the pleasure of Ross being in my class over the past year, and this year he's out in general education class, in an art class with a student, and they come back to my class and they're laughing and smiling, and you can see that true friendship built between them, which is really what the program is about. So thank you, Ross.
I need a hug too.
Oh, wait. Russ.
Okay. Next, we have Nick Basil. Nick Basil. Nick Basil is another exemplary student. He's worked fairly closely with one particular student over the past 2 years, really forming an amazing friendship and bond, modeling great behavior, working a lot on gym skills and basketball skills, allowing the student to, during his senior year, at a huge pep rally with all the high school students, make a three-point shot. He said he thought of Nick after he made it. Nick was one of the people that are in his gym class consistently, and Nick has really made a difference in the student's life, contacting him during the summertime, outside of class, and other ways like that. So Nick is another wonderful, wonderful student. We thank you. Oh my goodness.
She cleans up well.
Coming back, what did you? Amazing. Thank you. So this here is Emily Hubbard. And Janice and I, well, I've only been doing Link for about a year, and Janice has been doing it for 2 years. And I think Emily has the veteran on both of us, because I believe she's been doing it now since middle school, correct? Freshman year. Emily embodies what it is to be a Link student. Last year and this year both, she has planned and coordinated a flash mob for our special needs students with autism and cognitive impairments. And if you're not sure what a flash mob is, it is when we are sitting in the lunchroom and nothing's going on, kind of like here, and all of a sudden music comes on and a group of people come out and break out into dance. She has helped create more memories, more lasting memories than our students would see if we didn't have this program. And she is an amazingly wonderful, dedicated, and patient student. Okay, so thank you, Emily. Oh, you're fine.
Oh, yeah, right.
Next up, we have Hope Jefferson.
Here, come listen.
Okay, so last year she worked closely with several students. She works closely with several students. She's consistently modeling that appropriate behavior, taking learning outside of the classroom, partnering it up in the cafeteria, in the hallway, outside in the, during sporting events and whatnot. Let's see. I've lost my home. Hope is also enrolled in the student leadership program, where she was able to encourage a student with special needs to sign up and participate in a basketball game, which he said he was not going to do. Hope convinced him, and this is the same student that I was talking about that Nick worked with, that made that huge three-point shot during a pep rally.
And is excited to go to the prom this year.
And is going to the prom this year. She is a deserving and amazing young woman, and we are very proud and lucky to have her as a Link.
Come on down.
Next up, we have Ijama. Ijama is an 11th grade student at West Bloomfield High School, and she is working right now in a drama class with 2 students. She is completely amazing. She understands how to let the students really become themselves while helping them in an appropriate way and not doing things for them. She has a perfect balance of helpfulness and encouragement with these students. She also is another one who really takes that learning outside of the classroom and brings it out into other areas. She, during lunch, a lot of times she will get up and go sit with the students because they're her friends. And that's what really makes a difference with a Link student in the classroom and these students who really take it outside of the classroom. So thank you, Ijama. I need like water or something. We have so many wonderful people.
If we could have brought all 70, we would have.
It's so true. It's so true. The Link program is amazing. So last but certainly not least is Jacob Rashty. So Jacob came to us last semester, kind of later in the semester. He just did amazing coming to us. Some students just really have a knack of working with students with special needs, and Jacob is one of those. He's not a Link student this semester. However, he's in my class often. He comes in to say hi, not to me, but to the students, which really makes it special. He was a huge part in our flash mob, really encouraging a lot of the students to kind of go outside the box and have fun. He's just a really wonderful, kind-hearted student. So we have been so lucky to have met him and had him in our program. Thank you, Jacob.
Remember your role.
Wow, that was a crowd. Okay, Michelle Schuler-Gall. Michelle, there she is. Michelle's got one for us. Take your time.
Whoa, sure I can. I'm also here to, I nominated Emily Hubbard on A Different Light. You all get to hear about how she is here in school, but it's good to know that she's not just that way in school. She's that way.
How are you?
Good. I am the wife of the associate pastor at our church, Waterford Community Bible Church. And from just a little girl, she was one of my little ones in junior church. And when she got old enough to move on into a higher class, she didn't want to. She wanted to stay and help the little ones. And she still does that continuously at church, as well as helping in almost anything that we do, any function that we have. I can always call Emily or know, even if I don't call her, she's going to be there. She does anything I ask her to do. When I ask her to do something, I don't have to turn around to look to see if it's done. I just know it is. And even outside of church, we had a tree fall in our front yard into the street. And at 9 o'clock in the morning, her whole family, they were there in front of the house, helping to pick it up. No complaints, just laughing and having a good time. So I'm just really proud to know her and love her more every day. I've known her since before she was born, and her family and her brothers. And amazing that she's here after a track meet today and placing first in discus. And I think fourth in the shot put. So congratulations, Emily.
Okay, from Scotch, I'm looking for Thomas the Grand. You've been waiting. Whoa, you brought a cheering gallery.
Good evening. My name's Tom DeGram. I'm a 5th grade teacher at Scotch Elementary, and I'm here to recognize 3 amazing students, Philomena Anton, Adriana Yaldu, and Juliana Samaro. Philomena, Adriana, and Juliana have demonstrated remarkable love, care, and friendship with their friend and classmate, Adriana Mansour. Adriana had suffered a traumatic accident this past summer that caused her to miss 4 months of school. These students have been by her side since day one. They would go to her house on the weekends to help her catch up with missed work, and they have continually supported her above all expectations since she returned back to school. I truly believe these 3 students have helped Adriana get to where she is today, a place that no doctors ever anticipated she would be so soon. They have defined the true meaning of love and friendship, and this award and recognition is only a small token compared to what they truly deserve. Thank you.
Cindy Mins, I know you got to stay.
Yeah.
You stay. Follows orders pretty good. Cindy.
That's okay.
You know, I got new glasses and I just can't read anything.
That's okay. I'm Kathy Mintz, and I teach 2nd grade at Scotch, and I'm here to nominate some really incredible kids from Scotch. First, I'd like to have Adriana come back. As you've already heard, Adriana was in a very serious accident this summer, but through her positive manner, perseverance, and a lot of hard work, she's making a miraculous recovery. She has put in hours working with therapists and tutors, doing all that she can to rebuild her skills. She has received incredible support from her family, friends, and the whole school community. She has taken advantage of all that support to make great strides. Throughout it all, she has had a positive attitude with a smile on her face. Adriana deserves great recognition for her spirit and hard work. She has shown incredible determination and strength on her road to recovery. Congratulations, Adriana. But as you've heard, she could not do this alone, and I want to introduce you to some amazing 5th graders from Tom DeGrand's class. Unfortunately, Mr. DeGrand's whole class could not be here, but each and every one of them deserves the greatest round of applause ever. They have been so amazing to Adriana. Mr. DeGrand's whole class. But before I start, even before that, I want to give a huge thank you to Tom DeGrand and all the staff at Scotch who has put in so much time to help Adriana and to help her fit back into our school. He has been incredible and a wonderful role model for how to create a loving community in his classroom. So he deserves a round of applause. These boys and girls faced an enormous challenge this year, and each student has put his or her heart into facing the challenge with sincerity, humor, and kindness. It took Adriana several months to recover enough to return to school, but even before that, the class was helping her out. A student made a videotape that included her classmates and all her past teachers so that she could get a feel for what her class was going to be like. She has been a part of their class from the minute her name went on their class list. Cards were made so that she could get to know her classmates and feel a part of the class. As she returned to school part-time, then full-time, her classmates were great friends to her. They helped her with assignments and routines and let her know every day that she was a valued part of their class. This class greatly deserves recognition for the selfless way in which they have embraced Adriana. They truly represent the best of Scotch and the West Bloomfield School District. Congratulations. We'd like to introduce each one of them, and Mr. DeGrand's going to tell you their names.
Yeah, just to give them the recognition they deserve, we got Adriana Yaldu, Philomena Anhan, Juliana Samaro, Alicia Kapoor, Blake Ingram, Michaela Crew, Aran Mizrahi, Jordan Lowry, Adriana Mansour, Garrett Krasinski, sorry, down here, Grace Eden, Anthony Juba, and Katie Hopper.
That was a heck of a story. Anyway, moving right along, a couple of things we need to acknowledge some more of our sponsors. Oakland County Circuit Court, the Family Division, the City of Keego Harbor, the City of Orchard Lake Village, West Bloomfield Township, and the West Bloomfield School District. We also have some special acknowledgments here. In the packets the children received, from Jersey Mike's, they got a gift card. We also want to thank Wesley Berry Flowers, Bush's Fresh Food Market, West Bloomfield Police Department, the West Bloomfield Schools, West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation, and the custodial staff here at Orchard Lake Middle School. Now, one more thing. We have 65 roughly up here, but they didn't get here without your help. So I think we need to give your parents, your families, a round of applause. And thank you. And then one last thing. Would everybody please stand up and take a bow? You guys are the champs today. Thank you.
Once again, thank you everybody for coming tonight. I have to say this is one of the most emotional nights we've had in a long time. There's so many stories that touch your heart, and that's what we're here for. Besides our casework services that we offer, we'd like to also thank the families and the children up on stage for doing an exemplary job of being the people that they are and the parents that they have. Thank you so very much. And we have refreshments over here, family pictures over here. Thank you.